What emerged from the parched depths of the once mighty Euphrates River has sent shock waves around the world. As the waves recede, old relics emerge, hinting at a long-forgotten civilization and an enigmatic past. But amid whispers of fallen angels and anticipated prophecies, a mystery awaits, a horrifying revelation that leaves the world breathless, shivering in anticipation of what lies under the surface. Get ready to be terrified by what just appeared in the dried-up Euphrates River. The Euphrates River, once a symbol of Western Asia's natural splendor, now stands as a haunting reminder of the delicate balance between humans and nature. Its current state of drying up has thrown a worrying shadow, reminding us of the fragile nature of our planet's vital rivers. The inevitable drying of the once majestic Euphrates has shocked and alarmed people all across the world, raising serious concerns about the potential consequences. This renowned river, recognized for its historical significance and crucial role in civilization survival, now serves as a terrifying reminder of nature's frailty. As the world's attention is focused on the Euphrates River's deplorable condition, the desire to identify and treat the causes grows. The effects of this environmental disaster are felt far beyond its immediate surroundings, spurring a broader discussion about water scarcity, climate change, and the delicate balance between human activity and the natural world. The Euphrates River's fate serves as a somber reminder of our joint responsibility to protect and preserve our planet's valuable resources for future generations. The decline in water levels of the Euphrates and Tigris over the course of the last 3 years has allowed for the exposure of a great number of archaeological sites that were previously hidden by the waters of these two rivers, which flow through Syria, Iraq, and Turkey respectively. Recent drops in water levels at the lake created by the Euphrates Dam in eastern Syria have made it possible to examine a sizable archaeological burial site. The receding waterbed of the Euphrates River and the discovery of archaeological sites is not new. When the water level in the dam lake receded in the 1980s, comparable locations became invisible again. As a result of the global drought, formerly submerged archaeological sites will continue to emerge in these countries. As the world's attention is focused on the Euphrates River's deplorable condition, the desire to identify and treat the causes grows. The effects of this environmental disaster are felt far beyond its immediate surroundings, spurring a broader discussion about water scarcity, climate change, and the delicate balance between human activity and the natural world. The Euphrates River's fate serves as a somber reminder of our joint responsibility to protect and preserve our planet's valuable resources for future generations. Recent drops in water levels at the lake created by the Euphrates Dam in eastern Syria have made it possible to examine a sizable archaeological burial site. From the Wadi Sal al-Khashab and Shams al-Din region in the northwestern countryside of Raqqa, all the way to the administrative border between Raqqa and Aleppo, the site, which dates back to the Byzantine civilization in the Raqqa province, sprawls over large areas on the eastern bank of the Euphrates Dam, also known as Topka Dam Lake. It was established in the Raqqa province during the Byzantine era. The decline in water levels of the Euphrates and Tigris over the course of the last 3 years has allowed for the exposure of a great number of archaeological sites that were previously hidden by the waters of these two rivers, which flow through Syria, Iraq, and Turkey respectively. Over the course of the last few years, the water level in the Euphrates River has dropped to perilously low levels. The flow of water from Turkey into Syrian territory is less than 200 cubic meters per second, which is less than half of the quantity that Turkey and Syria agreed upon in 1987. The Euphrates riverbed witnessed 6 historical eras, including the Sumerian, Akkadian, Assyrian, Greek, and Byzantine eras, in addition to the Islamic era. Abdul Razak al-Aliawi, an engineer and former head of Syria's maintenance department for the Euphrates River, told Al-Monitor. Al-Aliawi was the previous director of Syria's maintenance department for the Euphrates River. He believed that the construction of dams in the first place was an unjust decision. In 1968, under the leadership of Youssef Zayin, the Syrian government constructed the Euphrates Dam without first rerouting the Euphrates River away from the desert and creating lakes there. Instead, Aliawi stated that the lake that was formed as a result of the dam had a length of 100 kilometers and a width of 8 kilometers, and it submerged the most notable ancient sites that were located along the river. Only a select few items and monuments were spared throughout the destruction. As the water level drops, he continued, many cemeteries are located in this area, which is also believed to include hundreds of Syriac Christian monasteries. Cemeteries are places where people are buried. When the sun is shining and the water in the lake is clear, it is possible to make out the gravestones of the cemeteries that are still underwater. In the western part of Raqqa, a few cemeteries have been discovered on the right bank of the lake, but he stated that the left bank is more rocky, making it difficult to carry out digging works. In July, as the waters of the Euphrates River began to recede in the city of Anna in Iraq, the ruins of the ancient city of Talbez were made visible. Following the lowering of the water level in the Haditha Dam, an Iraqi archaeologist by the name of Mohammed Jassim reported the discovery of at least 80 previously submerged historical monuments. The Department of Antiquities in Dohuk, which is located in the Kurdistan region of Iraq, made the announcement on June 6 that they had found a city that belonged to the Mitanni Empire and had been submerged for 3,400 years. The city was exposed when the waters of the Tigris River basin receded. Bex Privkani, the director of the Dohuk Department of Antiquities, stated on June 6 to reporters that the city, which was previously referred to as Zakiko, was referenced in Babylonian documents. According to him, it consists of a palace in addition to a number of other buildings, as well as a vast fence. Cuneiform texts were also discovered at the site. The medieval Hasdek Castle, which can only be reached by boat, was exposed to the surface of the Kaban Dam Lake on the Euphrates River in the area of eastern Turkey last year as a result of the water level dropping in the lake caused by the Kaban Dam. According to Korkmaz San, who serves as the dean of the history department at the Firat Euphrates University in Turkey, it is thought that the castle was originally a temple that dates back to the time before the Christian era. During that time, he issued a statement to the press in which he revealed that the castle is carved into the rocks on 3 different levels and has Greek inscriptions on the walls of its interior. The receding waterbed of the Euphrates River and the discovery of archaeological sites is not new, said Saad Fanza, who worked for nearly 30 years at the National Museum of Damascus as director of the Photographic Archive and the Documentary Archive of Syrian Antiquities at the museum. Fanza told Al Monitor, "The discovery of archaeological sites is not new. When the water level in the dam lake receded in the 1980s, comparable locations became visible again." In addition, he stated that the site of Muribet, an ancient settlement mound dating back to the Neolithic era, was one of the most important sites that were flooded by the water of the Euphrates Dam when Lake Assad was established. This discovery shed light on the evolution of agriculture in the region, as well as the deification of women during this historical period. Fanza said, "The Tigris River flows from Turkey into Iraq, and the Euphrates River travels through both Syria and Iraq. As a result of the global drought, formerly submerged archaeological sites will continue to emerge in these countries." The Euphrates River holds significance in religious and cultural contexts, playing a crucial role in biblical prophecies and the coming of the rapture. The Euphrates River is frequently mentioned in the Bible as a geographical landmark, but it is also noted for its significance as a representation of God's dominion over the world He has created. The Bible uses the Euphrates River as a complicated symbol. It serves as a reminder that God is both kind and just. The Euphrates River is mentioned in several sections of the Bible in ways that convey both hope and disaster. It is frequently discussed in relation to the geography and history of the prehistoric civilizations it passed through, as well as in biblical texts that predict future events. The Euphrates is one of 4 rivers that originate in the Garden of Eden, according to Genesis 2:14. This implies that the Euphrates is a fertile and abundant region. The Euphrates River is mentioned in Genesis 15:18 as one of the limits of the land that God promises to Abraham. It is also mentioned in Deuteronomy 1:7 and Joshua 1:4 when speaking of the land that God promises to the Israelites. In those verses, the Euphrates is portrayed as a river of promise and hope. The Euphrates River represents God's wrath against sin in Isaiah 8:6-8. The mighty floodwaters of the Euphrates, the Assyrian king and all his pomp, are about to be brought against Judah because this people rejected the gently flowing waters of Shiloah and rejoiced over Rezin and the son of Remaliah. So the Lord says He will permit the Assyrian army to invade and overpower Judah. All of its channels will be overflowed, all of its banks will be crossed, and it will go on into Judah, circling over it, cutting through it, and reaching up to the neck. Emmanuel, its wings will span the length of your country. The Euphrates River will dry up, according to the prophecy of Jeremiah in Jeremiah 46:10. But that day belongs to the Lord Almighty, a day of vengeance for revenge on His enemy. The sword will eat until it is full, and until it has satiated its bloodlust. because in the country of the north along the Euphrates River, the Lord Almighty, will offer sacrifice. That verse demonstrates God's dominion over the land and river he made. The Euphrates River is said to dry up in the future as a result of God's wrath on sin in Jeremiah 50:38-39. In those lines, God declares a drought on her rivers. They'll shrivel up, because it is an idol-filled land full of terrifying idols. It won't ever be inhabited or lived in again from one generation to the next. As described in Revelation 16:12, the Euphrates River dries up to make way for the invasion of Israel by demonic kingdoms. The sixth angel poured out his bowl on the great river Euphrates, and its water was dried up to prepare the way for the kings from the east. According to that verse, at that time in history, the Euphrates is a river of judgment and destruction. Why the Euphrates River dries up and what it means. Like other rivers, the Euphrates River could dry up due to human neglect of the environment, which is a non-spiritual cause. Bible scholars have provided numerous spiritual interpretations of passages in the Bible that refer to the drying up of the Euphrates River. Some believe it to be a representation of the collapse and decay of the Babylonian Empire, which once ruled the ancient globe but eventually lost its authority. Others view it as a symbol of the last days, the period before Jesus returns to earth to judge the world and separate the good from the evil. According to that belief, the Euphrates River drying up could indicate the release of evil powers into the earth. It might be a reference to the time when the Antichrist will amass his forces to attack Israel. In that case, the forces could be able to assault Israel by crossing the Euphrates on its dry riverbed. We don't know with certainty when that will occur. A sobering reminder that God is in charge of history is provided by the idea of the Euphrates drying up in the end times, whenever that may actually happen. He will punish the world for its immortality, but he will also look out for his followers. Even when things seem the darkest, we may put our trust in God. The Euphrates drying up in the Bible has various interpretations. What is certain, though, is that the metaphor of the river drying up is a potent representation of the spiritual dryness that can overtake those who reject God. A relationship with God, who is our living water, is the answer to spiritual dryness. The Bible makes several references to God as living water. In John 4:14, Jesus reveals, "Anyone who drinks the water I offer them will never experience thirst. Indeed, the water I will give them will turn into a spring within them that will produce eternal life." Jesus gives us hope in John 7:37-38 by saying, "Let anybody who is thirsty come to me and drink." As the Bible promises, rivers of living water will flow from within anyone who trusts in me. That's all for the video. We will be right back with more. Don't forget to click on the thumbs up to give this video a like, and subscribe to our channel to receive more videos. Thanks so much for watching, and we will see you in our next video.